Welcome back to Poorly Educated Today in the News, the only show where we try to understand America using the same logic my cousin uses when he claims he can fix any truck, even though half his tools are just forks he bent in the microwave. And folks, today, America ain't just wobbling, it's shaking like a Walmart tent in a hurricane. Segment 1. A Republic Under Stress. The Minneapolis ICE Terrorism Crisis. America right now is like a folding chair at a county fair. It's holding on, but one wrong move and somebody's going face first into the funnel cakes. We got federal power, state power, and local power all fighting like three raccoons inside one trash can. And as always, ICE shows up like the guy who brings fireworks to a baby shower. We're in Minneapolis, where a tragic ICE shooting turned into a full-blown constitutional fistfight. DHS jumps out yelling, "Domestic terrorism," like they're trying to get a group discount on overreacting. Meanwhile, the mayor's basically screaming, "Get the hell out of my city," like ICE is his ex who still keeps accidentally driving by his house. The Minnesota National Guard's posted up just to keep the peace, which is wild because usually the most dangerous thing in Minnesota is a moose with an attitude problem. And President Trump is online saying the woman viciously attacked an officer with her car, which is funny because he describes everything from hurricanes to Arby's roast beef like it's an act of war. And now they're impeaching Kristi Noem for obstruction, self-dealing, and whatever word fancy people use for "you messed up real bad." Congress looking at DHS like, "Ma'am, we can't just call everyone a terrorist because they didn't listen to your ringtone." America is stressed. Minneapolis is furious. And ICE is out here acting like they're in a Fast and Furious reboot no one asked for. Except this time, Vin Diesel ain't showing up to save anybody. Segment 2. Resource Nationalism, Venezuela, Oil Seizures, and the Return of Mercantilism. Now, while America is turning cities into constitutional cage matches, the White House said, "Hey, what if we also grab Venezuela real quick? Like it's a Walmart rollback special. We're seizing tankers, grabbing Venezuelan oil, and setting up a system where all the money goes into U.S.-controlled bank accounts so we can force Venezuela to buy American groceries." It's basically oil for food, except instead of the UN, it's just Trump yelling, "Buy American or starve." And then we straight up seized a Russian-flagged ship, which is bold because historically, messing with Russian stuff ends with someone getting an interesting phone call from a guy with no profile picture. Economists say this is neo-mercantilism, which is fancy talk for pirate behavior, but in a suit. At this rate, the U.S. Navy gonna start flying a big American flag with a coupon for 20 cents off gas on it. Segment 3. Operation Buy Greenland, now with extra NATO panic. Meanwhile, Trump is back on the Greenland thing like it's a timeshare he refuses to let go of. The administration is talking about buying Greenland, annexing Greenland, maybe nudging Denmark with the military, which is insane because Denmark is our ally. It's like threatening to take your best friend's grill just because you really like the burners. Europe is freaking out. NATO is freaking out. Greenland is definitely freaking out. And the White House is like, no, it's not imperialism. It's national security, baby." Every historian in the country quietly passed out. If we go through with this, the U.S. is going to look like that one uncle who takes things from the shed that ain't his and says, "Well, if you weren't using it." Segment 4. Housing ban bombshell and the $1.5 trillion dream military. Then we hit the domestic economy, and hoo boy, Trump woke up and chose, "Let's blow up real estate." He banned institutional investors from buying single-family homes like he was pulling weeds out of his yard. The Reites crashed harder than my cousin's four-wheeler after he said, "Watch this." But it's not just housing. Trump announced a $1.5 trillion defense budget, funded by tariffs, which is like saying you're buying a brand new truck using the loose change you found under your couch. Also, he banned defense contractors from stock buybacks, which is wild because nothing scares a CEO more than being told to actually build the product they're paid to build. Apparently, America is done with financial engineering. Now we're just doing government yelling at corporations until something explodes. Segment 5. Congress mutinies, veto overrides, Boebert beef, and ACA subsidy chaos. Congress woke up today and said, "You know what? Maybe we don't have to agree with Grandpa Tariff all the time." They're trying to override Trump's vetoes on the Arkansas water bill and the Miccosukee sovereignty bill. Trump vetoed the first one even though it was supported by Lauren Boebert, who he's mad at for pushing the Epstein files. You ever seen a political petty beef so intense it messes with a water pipeline? Now you have. And then there's healthcare. ACA subsidies expired, premiums doubled, and Congress said, "Nah, we're not getting yelled at for this," and forced a vote using a discharge petition. That's Congress speak for, we took the remote away from the speaker. Republicans are terrified of voters seeing their insurance bills, because if there's anything scarier than Congress, it's a mom who just opened a surprise bill in January. Segment 6. Flu epidemic, severe weather, and the Swiss fire tragedy. While all this political chaos is going on, nature said, "Hold my beer." We got a massive H3N2 flu wave sweeping the country, hospitalizations spiking, folks coughing like they're trying to win a contest at the county fair. And ain't nobody masking. People would rather lick a bowling ball than wear a mask again. Then there's not one, but two storm systems ready to soak half the country. Tornado threats, flooding, hail the size of my cousin Terry's ego. Meanwhile, the Northeast's about to get slapped with rain like it owes somebody money. And overseas, tragedy struck Switzerland, where a fire at a ski resort bar killed 40 young people. It's sobering stuff. Even rednecks know. If your bar catches fire in the Alps, something went real wrong. Segment 7. The Fiesta Bowl. America's emotional support football game. Thank God sports still exist. Tonight we got the Fiesta Bowl, Ole Miss versus Miami, a battle between a team that loves chaos and a team that is chaos. Miami's favored, Ole Miss is scrappy, and America desperately needs 3 hours of yelling at a TV where no one gets impeached, sanctioned, seized, or reclassified as a terrorist. Football is our national therapy. It's the one time America unites to watch two groups of college kids get concussed for our happiness. Truly a cultural treasure. In conclusion, America right now is juggling crises like a circus clown made of fireworks. We got domestic unrest, foreign oil seizures, tariff-funded super armies, healthcare battles, flu outbreaks, and storms that treat Alabama like a slip and slide. But we also got football. And that counts for something. Stay safe, stay skeptical, and stay poorly educated.